The state program to assist children living and working on the street has been implemented since 2013. It has been implemented with the funding and support of UNICEF and the EU. As a result of the program, a state mechanism has been established for the protection of the rights of these children. Mobile groups have been launched. Also, daycare and 24-hour centers have been established in Tbilisi and Kutaisi. These services are aimed at the gradual psychosocial rehabilitation of the children living and working on the street. A mobile group consists of a psychologist, a social worker, an administrative staff, and a peer educator. These peer educators are people with experience living and working on the street. The goal of the work with these children and their identification is their placement in different services. These services include day centers, crisis intervention shelters, if the child has nowhere to spend the night, or in exceptional cases, there are also transitional centers. The ultimate goal is the placement of these children in long-term services, such as small family-type homes or foster care. The main objective of our work is the resocialization of these children and their return and reintegration into society. I experienced various difficulties on the street, and then at some point I started thinking about myself. I realized I wanted to learn something or to master a profession. I graduated from the 12th grade and wanted to do something to contribute to these children, the children living and working on the street, to share my experience with them. The goal of the mobile group is to work with children in street conditions. Primary psychological or medical assistance, their engagement in recreational or sport activities, and informal education. The day crisis intervention centers are open services enabling children living and working on the street to meet their basic needs, while it provides them with psychological rehabilitation services. These centers offer programs for the development of life skills and informal education. Their aim is to gradually withdraw children from life on the street towards their sustainable engagement in the day center services, as well as their rehabilitation and reintegration. Since the majority of our beneficiaries are victims of domestic violence, they are distrustful towards society in general. Therefore, it is a great challenge to establish trustful relationships with these children, to persuade them to come to the center and use our services. When I came here, something changed. I stopped going out on the street. During those 2 months I was here, I showed the teacher that I was really motivated, and they offered me a placement in a small family-type home. I liked it and was transferred to another small family-type home in Didube. There is a family environment there. You are like part of the family. Also, my teachers told me that I had a good future or something. I mean, they were helping me. That's why I have decided to stay here and learn, so that I can have something of my own when I turn 18. When I came here, I felt the family atmosphere, as there are many children here. We are like siblings. I was received pretty well in the beginning, and I am doing very well now. In addition, the center provides shelter to children without homes. The Transitional Center is a 24-hour service aimed at providing immediate shelter and assistance, primary medical assistance, and meeting psychological and emotional needs to children in crisis, children on the street without supervision, children without residence, children who are victims of violence, and their preparation for a long-term placement in foster care or small family-type homes. In certain cases, when the biological family can provide the child with a safe environment, the reintegration process is being actively supported. My life has changed in that I no longer beg and am no longer out on the street. I do not sleep outside anymore. They are thinking how to prevent me from going back to the street after I reach the age of 18. They are running around to find me a job and to resolve issues related to documents so that I can do well in life. The Health and Social Fund has been established to cover the expenses for the health and social needs of children living and working on the street. In spring 2014, a legal working group was formed to identify legal gaps which infringe on the rights of children living and working on the streets, and factors which keep them from different services, such as education, health, and social protection services. In the framework of this initiative, close cooperation with the Ministry of Education and Science has been established to ensure a second chance of education for those children, many of whom never attended school or dropped out. The day center based program and school education will enable children living and working on the street to attend school and catch up with the learning process.